to the agenda. The published agenda online has the baseball update as the number 8 thing, and we need to add that in for this evening as a matter of record. So I need a motion and a second to modify the agenda to add the update.
I move to modify the agenda to add the update to the baseball.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of modifying the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion, or the agenda is modified. Jen, I've asked you to lead the pledge and the vision statement for this meeting.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Growing empowered, future-ready students who are prepared for a lifetime of opportunity and success.
Thank you, Jen. All right, we had no comments from the community that were signed up for, so we'll move beyond that. We have next on the agenda the approval of the personnel report. There was nothing in the personnel report on certified staff. On classified staff, we have the recommendation for Nathan Gonzalez for the Deputy Treasurer Payroll Benefits position effective May 16th of 2025. And ECA staff, we are just thrilled as a board and a community for the recommendations of both Jason Bales and Tommy Newton. Is that all right, Tommy? All right, Tommy Newton as our new boys varsity basketball coach, and Jason as our girls varsity basketball coach. So super excited to announce that and have it a part of our official record now.
Now my job, I suppose. So we'll go ahead, Tommy, Kayla, come up. Some of you were on the interview committee, so I just wanted to speak on just a little bit of the excitement and whatnot that we have for Tommy as the new head basketball coach. Went through 2 grueling interviews, really tough interviews. And despite the youth and that, the energy and the excitement for this program, and I think this guy knows our players maybe better than some of us do, and kind of their strengths and weaknesses just for his preparation and everything, just for the interview process. So if he's willing to do that for an interview, I know that's going to carry over to Tiffin High School basketball, and we're looking forward to the product and the excitement that you bring to the Inferno. So, and this is Kayla, by the way. 12 days from big days. So trying to put it all in here all at once. So just want to welcome Tommy aboard and welcome to Blue Nation.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
We were told it was a team effort. Was that not true? Is that not true? Okay.
Jason and Pamela, come on up. I mean, this one don't need to introduce that.
Good.
So along with that, we also had the girls varsity job that was open. So we had our interview process with that. And throughout this, Jason came in and obviously with the team last year, but his vision and passion for the program moving forward kind of set him apart as the person that we wanted to take over Lady Devils basketball. So I know Jason's already in the gym in the mornings and getting girls working and putting in the work in the off season. I do think there's a level of excitement in the hallways as I talk to the girls and walking around school during the day. So looking forward to what next year brings and what Coach Bales will do with the Lady Devils in the 25-26 school year. So congratulations.
Much.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
We need to approve that.
I do want to make one more note. just because I don't think it's a right to talk about basketball too much without talking about Cliff Hawkins just a little bit. As you all know, Cliff underwent the transplant and everything was going swimmingly there. If you haven't been on YouTube or checked out the social media, you should, because they've got the promotional video up for the Indiana Donor Network. But all that to say, throughout this, you would think that somebody that just received an organ from someone else would maybe just be on the mend and taking their time to rest and rehab. Cliff has been very involved in questioning and throughout the entire coaching process. And I think that's just representative of how much he loves the game of basketball, how much he loves Tipton High School, and he's left that program in a good spot for Tommy to take over. So I just want to recognize Cliff real quick for all the extra time while he's on the mend. So that's it, and I'm going to steal Tommy and Caleb and go ahead and do.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you all.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Next 12 days.
Yeah.
So we're going to approve so I need a motion and a second to approve the personnel report.
I move to approve the personnel report.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the personnel report. All those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All is approved. Congratulations. And I would say, Coach Bales, if you're not interested in the re-roofing project, this would be an excellent time for you to take the kids to South Pole or something to celebrate. So
To help with softball.
there you go. All right. Thank you very much. All right, now we're at the place where we're reviewing the plans for the roofing project. The 90% plans are in front of you. These are presented to us by 4021 Architecture and R.L. Turner. And in order to proceed with the project, the nearly complete plans must be approved by us, the board, and then they go to the state for approval. And then once the state sends them back to us, we can send them out to bid and see what lands, right? So what we're approving tonight is the 90% plans to go to the state for approval, and then those will go out to bid. So without further ado, I will turn it over to,
Maybe to be up here.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, just right here at the microphone, and then
I'm Jeremy Stewart with 4021 Architecture. Glad to be here at this point, and I'm glad you're moving forward as fast as we can to get this roof, because I've seen it and it needs some help. If you see on the screen here, you've had a series of other re-roofs, and you can see multiple colors on this roof. Basically, anything that you're seeing on here that's still brown needs to be re-roofed, particularly this area right around the auditorium. And then you've got your vocational wing up in the top part of that, has a little section of black. That's actually one of the oldest roofs, and still is not in a horrible situation, but while we're over there, that section would get re-roofed as well. And this goes back to some previous plans that you had done when you had the other re-roofs done. These are just the subsequent phases to finish out that plan. I'm gonna switch it over to the colored plan. So you can see that this will be the areas of priority and proposed phasing, because it's a lot of square footage. It's gonna take a little while to get it done. And this is in your printed plan as well. The light blue being the first phase, that's just a simple little couple areas. And then the green is kind of the bigger phase. And I believe, do you have the date, Andy?
So
I can't read that.
the
really.
intention at this time, based on the schedule we've coordinated with Jeff Quadenbush and Barnes Thornburg, Dr. Lee's spoken with him quite at length, and in order to expedite this, the earliest we would be able to start material lead times, administrative process would be June 23rd, and that's getting to those late vestibule areas while the kids are not in school. The building's unoccupied, that way we're not impeding any sort of fire code egress. There soon after, we would hit this green area, It's kind of the most substantial portion of this. I don't know how many of you may or may not have been up there, looking back at your 3D model. It's kind of a 7-layer dip, for lack of a better term, of various
Yeah.
regrowths.
It is, and if you wanna look in the package, if you're able to read in the front of, there's a profile showing all of the layers of each of the different types of roofs, and those correlate. This green area has been added onto so many times, and the last was a spray applied insulation that just kind of comes up and makes its own valleys and ridges. That's caused other problems. So we gotta pare that back, and that's a lot of that green area.
That would run mid-July to early October. Thereafter, we would get into the Inferno, the step-down roof right over here. And then thereafter, we would kind of back over this way to the auditorium where we have this higher elevation here. Before finally the last finish would be this vocational wing. The nice thing is, there won't be really any impedance to normal class operations or really any normal operations throughout here. It's not a complete tear off. We are carrying allowances for cases we may run into with the unforeseen with areas that would necessitate a complete tear off and regrowth. But the intention is to take it down and fix kind of the slope here to get rid of all this spray foam. Whoever applied the spray foam did cause some issues where they sprayed your weeks in a brick here solid with the spray foam. That's causing a lot of the leak issues up here all the way around over at the auditorium left area. Most critical here, and that's kind of just our projected schedule for this right now, obviously. Once the 60th Street goes out for bid, there'll be a little bit more nuance and planning with the schedule, but as of right now, we think that's something we can do.
Question, did I hear you say there's 7 layers on the green?
I call
Somewhere
it,
in there
I call it
is
a
a-
7-layer dip, like a beam dip. It's just an amalgamation of different re-roofs over the year where layers have been stacked on top of layers.
So you're taking it down to to the
No, we're
base?
not taking all the way, we're taking down the spray applied and then the first layer of rigid foam insulation. Because it's stuck to that layer, we're gonna take that layer off and then put on a new sloped layer so we can get to the drains correctly.
And so
So
you
we're only
assume
taking
the
off
other
thirty.
layers are okay?
Yeah, they are.
We've
had
done
the
soil testing and we've done about 3 sets of cores now over the last year or
Great.
so while we've been in the discovery process for this. We have a lot of faith in the existing layers underneath these other layers.
Okay, and then my next question is, number 24, is that over the pool?
I'm sorry, my eyes are failing. There's no.
And I'm
work
looking at the small one, just FYI.
She got it.
But I have my glasses on, so.
Number 24 here, there's no work intended for this project. That is a pool area and that has a fairly new roof on it.
Okay,
If we went back to that 3D model, you can see that's, I believe, superior to that. You guys.
yeah, I understand that. I wanted to know what, I understand that piece. I wanted to know if that
Yeah,
is the pool. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, that's the pool and the oxygen, I believe, right there.
Okay.
Area where we did the locker rooms last year.
Okay,
And there are 2 sections when we get to the gymnasium re-roof area. There are 2 sides of it. You see it kind of on the west side has been replaced, that metal cladding that's blue. We've got the same situation on the sides of that. When we get to those areas, we have to bring the roofing up. So we need to take off the ephes and we're planning to replace it with the blue to match what happened on the west. Otherwise, any of the coping on the top, if we have to remove it as part of this work in the re-roofing to wrap, we're gonna replace it with the new, and the proposal was the blue to match what's happened elsewhere. Not all coping has to come off, so only the coping that we were having to take off would be affected. Unless there was a desire for them all of them to be done at once. We didn't think that was the case, because there's a lot of
have two questions.
Yes.
First of all, as far as materials goes right now for roofs, is there a long lead time? Are you having any problems getting material?
Not right now, and not with what's in the specifications for this project. We've been working pretty closely with a budgeting partner who's saying they're about 3 weeks out. So the intention would be to find a little better and with them for this to proceed based on the specifications and then go through formal approval of contracts.
Okay. And then one of the projects I saw is from like October to January or February to May. How does weather play into that? You know, what does that job look like?
So that schedule is currently built with weather days.
Okay.
Plan for a weather day each week, and you'll be set up for that winter season. It's kind of how we approach this.
We can base that here on the last 5 to 6 years of the weather
Mhm.
seasons we've had. 'Cause it has been relatively,
And that's the same time frame. I don't know, we've got a lot of new phases. We did this area when we did the high school package 1 project, and all that work ran from October to February as well, with knowing people's schedules. We have a lot of faith, I mean, obviously, say your prayers for great weather and everything.
We can do that.
We have a lot of faith in the schedule we built out.
Yeah.
We can do great time to address the weather.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions on the plan?
I was curious about the timing for the Inferno just being during basketball season. Is there any chance that that will?
With there not being total tear off and us not going to deck there shouldn't be any interruption to anything basketball related. Obviously, in addition to whoever the below roofing contractor is, we have a dedicated field force here that can address any issues. But with that not being a total tear off, we don't think there will be any interruption in basketball activity in the state. So there's this project too.
Thank you.
And we're comfortable with the plan as it relates to students in the building and
Correct, yeah, so
disruption to class.
for the academic main hallway there in green, that's being done over the summer, so obviously no kids. I will say, for summer school, if their kids will be on the first floor, this would only impact second
Okay.
story noise wise. And then as far as the
Vocational.
vocational
Yeah.
in purple there, we're confident that the level of noise that's gonna come from the roof work there is not gonna disrupt the process.
Okay,
But that was a point of conversation we had.
all right.
And that's the nice thing about the schedule with just, with not going all the way down to deck and having to come back up, much structure over. And stay out of your hair.
And then the bid we receive back will have the warranty information and what's covered in that, or how do we learn about warranty and,
So the specification at this time calls for a 20-year hail damage and, total roof warranty. And that will be the contractor who awarded, their responsibility to maintain and keep an annual inspection for any replacement necessary.
and that's only due to hail?
No, that is an added, benefit of the
Okay.
warranty you guys are receiving. By placing new cover board at these roofs, that extra layer of warranty, if you will.
Okay, so there's a 20-year warranty when the last bit of roofing is done. We have a 20-year warranty on the work that we're highlighting here. Okay, all right, thank you.
I think the point of it's also helped through that contractor, so people have looked at it. So when we get that, that's something to be vetting their experience level
Okay.
and history.
And is that a transferable warranty if that contractor is sold or goes out of business? Do we know?
It's through the manufacturer, so I believe the manufacturer would transfer it to whoever their
Okay.
preferred vendor would be to pick up that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And you're working with Jeff on this?
Mr. Quallenbush?
Oh, yeah, Mr.
No,
Quallenbush.
sorry, no,
Yeah,
sorry,
First name.
that's fine.
his name's also Jack.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Falconbush, so, okay, so we'll get comfortable with the warranty then. All right, thank you.
When we're all done, can we have a picture of the roof when the top of our building doesn't look so old?
Something
Before and
we,
after phase.
something we
Even
can use
after.
for marketing.
We'll even get you progress.
I don't know if you had,
All right, I'll take
I
it.
saw the drone flying around, but they were
That's so cool.
couple hours flying that drone, and a hawk flying at
Of course, of course.
Not getting right before a rainstorm that day. Over spring break.
Any other questions from the board on the roof? So just as you know, we're gonna call for a vote on this. This is a vote for the 90% plans to send to the state and to get bids, right? This is not the final. So I just want to make sure if there's, that's clear. So, anything else for us? All right. With that being the case, I take a motion and a second to approve the 90% plans for the roofing project to send to the state.
I move to approve the 90% plans for the TCSC roofing project.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any further questions? All right, the motion carries. Give the state our love as you send these to them, and hopefully it comes back quickly.
They're pretty quick on the reroofs
Good.
without the structures.
All right. The next couple items are I'm just going to read the statements, right? Because we need a matter of public record on these things. So I apologize that you have to listen to me, but I will hustle through this so that we can get back to our evenings. But on the agenda is succession planning, and we believe succession planning and education offer several important benefits, particularly when it comes to maintaining strong leadership, continuity, and long-term success for a school district. Things like smooth transitions, talent development, things of that nature, stability for the students. It's good for the staff to see that hard work and things can move you up in the organization, that type. And it does take the recruitment time and the cost of recruitment out of the equation. So with that being said, for the record, Dr. Ryan Glaze has indicated his intention to retire effective June 30th, 2027. This board has met in executive session on March 17th and again on April 8th to discuss the framework of a plan to ensure a smooth and strategic transition in district leadership. The framework of that plan has been established, and it is as follows. The appointment of Associate Superintendent. Effective July 1st, 2025, Scott Jaworski will be appointed to the position of Associate Superintendent. His contract will include a transition clause that designates his promotion to Superintendent effective July 1st, 2026, at which time he will begin to serve a 3-year term in that role. The change in the superintendent's contract, Dr. Glaze's current contract as superintendent exists through June 30th, 2026. Upon conclusion of his tenure as superintendent, Dr. Glaze will transition to the role of associate superintendent for 1 year, concluding his service with retirement effective June 30th, 2027. The role that Dr. Glaze will be going into, as we've discussed, is that of a consultant paid on a daily rate. We anticipate that we'll use that heavy up front, and then as that year wanes, so would that time as Mr. Jaworski's up on plane and doing his own thing. So we felt that that was in the best interest of the school from a finance position, and it worked extremely well for Dr. Glaze and his family. So appreciate the board's flexibility in considering contract for that. This 2-year leadership transition plan is designed to maintain continuity and stability within the district. It also provides time and the much needed support for Mr. Jaworski to complete his education specialist degree and begin the pursuit of his doctorate in education. This carefully structured approach reflects the district's commitment to thoughtful succession planning and sustained academic leadership. I'm going to give, for the sense of urgency or time, I will give you a couple of the accomplishments that we're hoping we protect by a succession plan. Under Mr. Jaworski's leadership, he's developed and implemented 164 separate scope and sequence documents, complete with curricular material and a complete list of ancillary content used in each of these courses. This makes Tipton Community School Corporation over compliant with the current state law and displays the highest level of transparency for all of our stakeholders. Scott also developed procedures and systems to comply with Indiana's free curricular material adoption legislation. He worked closely with teachers and staff to reduce costs for materials by $100,000 in year one, and in year two, in the process of reducing those same costs by another $65,000. He worked tirelessly to provide teachers what they needed while making hard decisions on what we could afford. And then finally, the coordination of the Science of Reading initiative from IDOE. Scott's leadership there fulfilled the training requirements for our primary teachers, providing a reading specialist coach to work with teachers on the successful implementation of the Science of Reading, working with elementary administration to develop classroom schedules that include 120-minute reading blocks, 30-minute reading interventions blocks daily, and as a result of that, we had the highest iRead 3 scores in the area. So we are hoping by succession planning, we continue that momentum and that inertia and that academic excellence. I could get into all the attendance stuff that his work has done, but again, want to make sure we make the best use of everybody's time. So you will see in the paper what was sent to you on Sunday, in the paper, a notice for his contract, and we'll be voting on that in our May school board meeting. So any questions or comments or concerns? Right?
I just want to say these are exciting days at Tipton, and I think this plan is a really well orchestrated plan. We spent a lot of time just putting that together, and I'm excited for just to see Mr. Jaworski move into this role.
Yes, likewise. And I want to thank the board for all the executive sessions and all that stuff, but it is way better use of our time than recruitment and interviews and all the things that we would go through and losing all that momentum. So appreciates the board's flexibility to get that done quickly. So the final thing on our agenda is updates on the Little League. And I've been trying my very best to keep everybody up to speed on that, and just wanted to take this opportunity to update you accordingly. We have demonstrated, Tipton Community School Corporations has demonstrated leadership and strong support for the collaborative project with the city of Tipton that would involve leasing vacant school-owned land for a new Little League baseball complex. This leverages our existing infrastructure, parking, concessions, and restroom facilities, saving the city from having to invest in these in a new location. In addition, TCSC is open to allowing the city's shared use of our current competition baseball and softball fields when they are not in use by the school. And I just want on matter of public record and for the board to remember, these conversations started in July 31st, 2024 at the request of the school and the county. We met again at the request of Andrea Campbell on December 17th, 2024, and we met again on February 20th at the request of Dr. Glaze and myself to begin the lease discussions. And finally, we met again on April 17th at the school's request with the goal being of that April 17th meeting to review the initial feedback from the city's engineering and architectural team and to review the conceptual plans we were told existed in an April 4th email from the city. The architectural and engineering firms were not present either in person or virtually at our April 17th meeting, and no conceptual plans were presented by the city or representatives present from Envoy. As I informed the board previously, the city planned to have finalized design and a lease agreement in place by May of 2025 with the new complex completed in time for the spring of 2026. Based on our April 17th meeting with the city and the city's consultants, it's now clear, at least in our perspective, that timeline is in jeopardy due to delays in the preliminary planning work by the city. Our experience thus far has been that this process is disorganized and still highly speculative at this point. To move forward, we have outlined a few conditions that must be met before we resume our legal work and our negotiations. Very specifically, we are requesting of the city a site visit between the city representatives and the school corporation on the proposed land. To this date, not a single architect or engineer has been on site to look at our land, but somehow plans exist for a site and an order of magnitude for the construction exists for a site that we have not been allowed to review. We have requested specifically a delivery of a detailed architectural drawing, a project budget, and a construction timeline. If we are going to tear the back end of our school apart, we should at least know when that construction is going to occur and the impact that it's going to have on our students. Our band practices back there all summer. We have a lot of concerns about that. We have not been asked about what we need out of the timeline. We have also requested specifically an engineering review to ensure that our drainage on the leased land has been evaluated. Dr. Glaze has asked for 3 separate times for this meeting to occur, and it has not occurred, and he has concerns. And I believe that a superintendent that brought in a $35 million redesign of our building on time and on budget, if he has concerns on the drainage, we ought to accommodate that request, and it has been ignored. We have also requested a letter from the city's clerk treasurer confirming funding sources and amounts for both the new complex and any upgrades to our existing fields. We want to make sure before we sign a lease that there are plans and that the city owns all the money necessary to do this, so we don't end up with a half-done project. And then we have also asked, as a result of our April 17th meeting, clarification on how the city will address additional wear and tear if no upgrades to our facilities are planned, as was indicated to us in the April 17th meeting. So a letter has been sent to the city and to the president of the city council expressing our concerns and these needed steps to move forward. Once these items are completed to our satisfaction, we are ready to re-engage and to finalize a lease and help bring this beneficial project to life for the community. Our community is now facing almost 3 seasons of no youth baseball in Tipton since the city stopped this project in December of 2023. We remain optimistic and committed to this collaboration, but feel it is important to ensure there is a clear, realistic path forward and the communication from the city is timely and sincere. Any questions on the school's position as it relates to the baseball? All right. All right. With that, I would take a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the special meeting. Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're off to youth sports. We are adjourned.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
How are you guys doing? Oh, each team, mighty fine.